Hey everybody, it's Nick Walters here at Razorback Stadium as Arkansas is 2-0 on the year after beating Cincinnati in South Carolina, and tonight they face off with Missouri State. Arkansas is in the top 10 in the nation for the second straight year. The last time that happened was a decade ago, and guess who was the head coach? Bobby Petrino, the same man leading these Bears into the stadium tonight. The head Hog for 4 seasons is back at his old stomping grounds and met with mixed reaction from a sold-out crowd at Razorback Stadium, full of Hog fans enjoying a new era of relevancy under Sam Pittman. As expected in the first drive, Arkansas's defense swallows up the Bears, but the rest of the early going would be anything but expected. KJ Jefferson coughs it up and commits his first turnover on the year. Missouri State takes advantage, a back scampering, leaping, passing over the pylon. The Bears get on the board, up 7-zip in the first. But Hogs get back in business. Jefferson on the long ball hits Keytron Jackson. The sophomore is rolling, reaching, and taken down just inches short of the goal line. But no fret, that's where Rocket Sanders comes in to plunge it in. Except Sanders loses it. A Bear hops on it, another costly turnover, keeping Arkansas off the board. Missouri State would march the length of the field and boot in a field goal to make it a 10-0 edge in the second. A 3-and-out later for the Hogs, Jason Shelley on the move and spinning free of Bumper Pool. Missed tackle's an issue for the Razorbacks as Shelley dives in to make it 17-0 Missouri State advantage. Hog fans are stunned, getting blanked by an FCS squad led by their former head coach. But on the ground, Sanders gets back on track, gaining a big chunk and on the goal line. No miscue this time. Rocket walks in to cut the deficit. Arkansas trails by 10. That's just the spark the Hogs defense needed. Jaden Johnson crashes in for a sack, and the Bears are forced to give it back. Before half, Hogs go in a 2-minute drill, and it only takes 2 plays. KJ on the heave, linking up with Matt Landers, streaking down the sideline. Very next snap, Jefferson getting solid protection, and with that kind of time, someone gets open. Jaden Hazelwood on the other end. The Oklahoma transfer picks up a block, goes 38 yards, and hits pay dirt. 2 straight Arkansas scores narrow the gap. Razorbacks D back to its relentless ways. Drew Sanders providing pressure, and Jordan Dominic shellacking Shelley. Hogs trail 17-14 hitting the break. But out of the locker rooms, problems persist. Jefferson's pass ricochets off Trey Knox and into the hands of a Bear. That's KJ's first pick of the year. And missed tackles still plague a secondary, missing Jalen Catalon and Miles Slusher. But Missouri State can't capitalize on the pick. Hogs back with it, and KJ goes back for Landers. Holy Toledo, there goes the Toledo transfer, juking guys out and setting up a field goal. Knotted up at 17, Bears offense looking to get a spark back, but Drew Sanders delivers a body slam. The textbook tackle adds some juice for the team, setting up a 4th and short for the Bears. But they go for it. Everyone in the stadium thinks run, and Petrino dials up a pass. Shelley catches Arkansas by surprise. Ty Scott left all alone for the easy 47-yard touchdown. 24-17 Bears flipping to the 4th, and Razorback fans, neck braces and all, are without words. Missouri State tacks on a field goal to go up 10 with 12 minutes left in the ballgame. But staring a massive upset in the face, the Hogs flip the switch. On the shovel pass, Rocket Sanders turns on the burners, making one man's angle wrong and switching to high gear. The sophomore star with the afterburners. 73 yards later, the breakaway speed gets the Razorbacks into the end zone for the first time in the second half. Count it as a momentum shift, and on the ensuing drive, the defense responds accordingly. It's Landon Jackson and Jordan Dominic wreaking havoc, and on the next play, Drew Sanders does a lineman dirty. The inside stunt and the takedown, 2 straight sacks, and the Hogs have life. So Missouri State sails it off, and get your popcorn ready. Bryce Stevens has space to roam. The block from Hudson Clark sheds a tackle, and that man's off to the races. Stevens takes it all the way to the house. 2 scores in just over 2 minutes of game time gives Arkansas their first lead of the game. 31-27 Hogs, and the pass rush keeps getting back home. Zach Williams barrels in to bring down Shelley. Bears punt it away and need a stop. Final minutes, and who else but the SEC's leading rusher to put the nail in the coffin. Rocket cuts the daylight, and he's loose. Sanders breaking another long one, making 167 yards on his day with a minute and change left on the clock. Jefferson finishes the job, dancing on in to put this one out of reach. 38-27 is your final. Arkansas rattling off 21 unanswered in the final 12 minutes to hold off Missouri State and stay perfect. Pittman tops Petrino in the latter's return to Fayetteville.
You'll get it all, man. Good luck to you.
And it's all respect from one head Hog to another.
A great game plan. He had his kids better prepared than I did, and he did a wonderful job. They got a really good quarterback. We knew that coming in. Man, did he make a lot of plays. And we turned the ball over. When Bryce Stevens returned the punt for a touchdown, that hadn't been done first time this year, and they never really had pressure on them. We never had gotten ahead of them. That allowed us to play with a lead, which was a big thing at the end of the game.
So despite Arkansas moving into the top 10 this week, the Razorbacks only beat Missouri State, the 6th-ranked team in the FCS, by 11 points. However, if you ask Sam Pittman, he's not worried about style points or how that ranking will be affected by nearly dodging this bullet tonight against the Bears. Instead, he's worried about his team taking away a learning lesson into SEC play.
If you're not playing well, or the other team's playing well, or whatever the situation is, you're just trying to fight and claw to get out with a win. And there were several different times in the game that it looked like we weren't going to. I think there's a difference in looking forward to next week and not giving enough respect for the team you're playing. We're not going to have problems getting up for the next few. You know, the name on the side of the hat, pretty significant. So, but I don't in any way want to not give Missouri State everything they deserve, because I don't know if their team wasn't better than us today because we beat them, but Coach was better than me today, and I got to get that fixed.
So it wasn't always pretty, but the Hogs get the job done. Going into A&M and eventually Bama, they beat Missouri State 38-27 after trailing 17-0 in the first half. Hey, look, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? Well, we'll see what the pollsters think about that one. All right, we'll send it back to you, Madison.